Alright guys, today I'm doing something I haven't done in a long time, but I have done probably a dozen times, and that is I'm going to be returning one of my plots to a neighbor. So I've been farming on this plot for maybe 3 years, and my neighbor is actually moving back into their house. So this house has been a rental. They own it. Actually, I bought my house from them, but this house it has been a rental for the last few years, and that's why I was farming it, because they weren't here. They have grandkids. They want to have their kids jump on the trampoline, so they want the plot back. And it's no big deal. It's no big deal. I've probably turned over and left probably 24 plots in my 10 years of doing this, so it's kind of how it goes. But anyways, I want to show you guys today what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be using the BCS. Where is it? There it is. BCS, and I've got the PDR mounted up with the tiller, and you can see there is natural bed formations with walkways in here. And so what I'm going to do is level this out, and I want to show you guys how effective the PDR is actually at doing something like this. Some of you may know, but a power harrow and a PDR aren't only used for doing things like preparing beds and all that. You can use them for other things, and they're actually quite handy at leveling ground. And I've actually seen road crews, and I don't know if this is the intended use of a power harrow or a PDR, but I've seen road crews using a power harrow before to just grind down ground and level it. Maybe they're putting in some concrete or some gravel crush over top of it or something. And so that's essentially what I'm going to do here today, is I'm just going to till all this, but I'm going to till it shallow. I don't want to till this deep because they want to walk on this ground, so there's no need to me tilling it deep. I might have to till this old spinach crop that I just finished cropping out. I might have to till this one deep to get this under the ground so it decomposes. But we'll see. I'm actually going to try to just go over everything fairly shallow and kind of see what happens. And I'm going to level all this out. I just uncovered all this with a tarp. This one I just uncovered this morning. You can see I've got some remnants of paper pot stuff there. And this is interesting because I covered this up not too long ago. I think maybe about a month or two ago. And this is a thick, like knee-high red Russian kale crop, and now there's absolutely nothing. Just the roots and the stems of the plant. It's amazing how effective tarps are at breaking down organic matter. And all that just would have been worm food. So it's too bad nobody's growing food in this anymore, because that is some damn fine fertile soil. So I'm going to pull out the BCS and get this started. So that did a pretty damn good job. It doesn't work like a flail mower when you're going over a crop like that, because it doesn't flail it all up to a fine mulch. However, you know, if you were to tarp this now for, at this time of year, a few weeks, this would just turn into nothing and turn into worm poop in that time. So it's kind of neat to know that you could actually use that PDR like a flail mower. In some ways, it doesn't do the same job, right? But it actually does a pretty good job. Like it pulls it all off the soil, and the soil was really dry because this is an overwintered spinach crop that hadn't been watered all spring, basically, and except for a little bit of rainfall. But I mean, yeah, it's chopped it up pretty damn good. Again, it's not as good as a flail mower, but I would say it's a close second, and it's kind of neat with this implement because you really do get 2 for 1. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that. I'm just going to continue leveling out this ground. So you can see there's still a little bit of, you can still kind of see the beds. the beds were hilled up quite a bit, just mostly because we only put compost on the beds for years. So I'm basically spreading around all that extra organic matter. So I'm gonna take a landscaping rake and just level this out a little bit, and then I might hit it again with the tiller, but I might not have to, we'll see. All right, well, that's all done. Tilled it out, did most of the leveling with the PDR and the tiller, but I had to use a landscape rake to go in there a little bit just to get some of that extra soil where the walkways had the depression, just to level it out a bit better. But the reason that this is better to do a task like this with a PDR, not just a tiller, is you can control your depth so much better with a PDR, and that back wheel pushes down to firm the soil up a little bit. See, I'm still making footprints, but not really deep, and that would be really annoying because these homeowners want me to just put down landscape fabric for them because they're just gonna have this backyard very utilitarian. They have grandkids that come over a couple times a week, and they got an above ground pool and a trampoline, and that's all they want the yard for. They don't want to do anything else with it. And so it's going to be better that way, because if I deep tilled and then I had that fabric in there, you'd have all this uneven ground as the initial footprints came in, and then it rained and it hardened it out. It would get to the point where it was really uncomfortable to walk on because it's such a heavy clay soil. So the PDR did a really good job at just keeping it shallow and leveling it out. So hope you guys found some value out of that video. We'll see you in the next one.